so I've already applied foundation. I went a little bit deeper, so I'm going to have to mix two pressed powders, my bronzer and my regular pressed powder, to go ahead and set my foundation. At first, I'm just going to apply it to the center of my face, concentrating on the forehead, the nose, the mouth, and the chin area, and right underneath my cheekbones. And then I'm going to go in and start on my concealing. Now for this, I'm doing a little bit differently than what I normally do because she has a really highlighted area underneath her eyes. So I don't like to apply shimmer or any type of highlighting product there. So I use my concealer, which is a brightening kind of color. And I'm applying it in a triangular area underneath my eyes. So you can see I go from kind of the outer corner all the way to the bridge of my nose. And then at first I apply a nice thin layer with a small brush, and then I go back in with another brush, or you can use your fingers, and blend out the harsh lines or where you can see that I've actually applied the product, and just kind of thin it out and make sure it melds right into my skin with the foundation that I've applied. And as you can see here, I'm going in that triangular shape. And this is really going to highlight and brighten that area underneath our eyes without having to use kind of shimmer products. It's a nice trick by using either a lighter colored shade or a brightening type of concealer. It really gives a nice kind of lightening effect to the eyes and make you look much more awake. So again, just blending that out with a brush. Now because I do have kind of a problem area with my eyes, I have, pretty moderate sized bags underneath. I'm going to go back in with a second layer and just apply it to the shadowy areas that I have on my face. And for that I'm going to use a small brush, just applying just to the shadowy areas. And then I'm going to use my fingers to blend that out. I like to use my ring finger. It has the least amount of pressure, and really press it into the skin. Try not to wipe it away or blend it into the back, because then you're just kind of highlighting the problem. Just really keep it in that same area. By pressing it into the skin, we kind of just take off any excess product and really kind of push it into the skin. Then I'm going to conceal any blemishes that you may have. For me, I get hormonal breakouts, so I'm applying it to my chin area. And once those are all concealed, then we can move on to the cheeks. Now in this look, she's just got a really nice light pink flush to her cheeks. Really just looks like if she was naturally flushing. So I picked a color that's very similar to my natural skin tone when I am flushed. Applied it with my fingers and then blended it out with a damp sponge, the same sponge I use for applying my foundation. I really like using this method as I think it comes off with the most natural kind of look to our cheeks. You can see there's just nice light pink. Using a cream blush this way is really going to give you a nice kind of glow, and it'll last all day if done, right and blended out nicely. Now that we have our face done, I'm going to go ahead and set the concealer that's underneath my eyes by using, a pretty thick brush, and I'm kind of pressing this powder. Now this powder is not like any kind of regular loose powder. It's called Hydrating Mineral Veil from Bare Essentials, and what's nice about it is it's kind of got this illuminating quality to it. It's not really glitter, it's very finely milled, but it just gives a nice kind of sheen underneath the eyes to where you can kind of have that glow without having kind of chunky glitter look underneath. It's also going to set your concealer to last all day long. And also another good tip is that once you apply this, if you have any fallout whatsoever from your eyeshadow, you can just sweep that away afterwards. If you apply a little bit too much or you think it's too heavy, just take a nice fluffy brush and sweep away the excess. And there you have it. Your concealer is set for all day, and you have a nice kind of glowy look underneath the eyes. Now I'm going to go ahead and set the areas where I place down the blush product, and just going over the cheek area. And then once I have that set, I'm going to go and start to really bronze up my face. Notice how when I'm doing this, I'm just kind of pressing the powder, and we don't want to swipe the powder around our face because it really can disturb the makeup underneath. So taking your favorite bronzing brush, I'm going ahead and bronzing up my face to basically add warmth to it. Any of the Victoria's Secret models, they always have a lot of color to their face, which I don't have. So we're going to have to fake it. So for me, I'm taking that bronzer and I'm hitting the high points of my face, which is going to be your forehead, your nose, your chin, the tops of your cheekbones, and your jawline. And also don't forget your neck. If you're really pale like me, you might need a little bit extra help there to make sure it doesn't look too awkward where you have orange bronzy face and then a bare white neck. So just make sure you get all those areas. And again, this is just to add warmth to our face. Now we're going to contour. by using a cool tone blush. This one's Harmony by MAC, which I absolutely recommend if you're fair skinned. It is just a beautiful shade. Taking a small pointed brush and really going in the hollows of our face, we're going to carve out those cheekbones. And then I'm going to apply mine to the temple area just to kind of slenderize my forehead a little bit, and to the top of my forehead as well. Make sure you get right into the hairline. You don't want to have kind of a gap of skin showing. You can also apply a little bit underneath your lower lip just to make your lip feel or look a little bit more full. Now I'm going to contour my nose. For this I use an eyeshadow brush and I just go along the bridge of my nose. Now depending on what your nose shape is, you may not need to. You may need to contour differently than I do. But I'm just a little unhappy with the end of my nose, the tip, so I really kind of concentrate my contouring there just to slenderize it a little bit. And then for the bridge of my nose, I just like a little bit of shadow there to kind of bring out my features because it can become a little flat. Again, just going back in underneath my jawline, underneath that lower lip, and this is again just going to slenderize and kind of bring out the structure of our face. Moving on to highlighting, I'm using Silver Dusk, which is a very beautiful kind of champagne colored shimmer powder. I'm applying it to the Cupid's bow of my lip, and this is really just going to emphasize the fullness of our lip and just kind of catch the light, and just it's a really pretty effect. Blend that in with your finger. Then using a stippling brush, I'm applying it to the cheekbones and kind of going in almost a C shape into the brow bone area. You can see that nice like shimmer shade there. It's not overpowering, it's just a nice subtle kind of glowiness to the cheeks that I think is just really, really pretty. Now if you have fine lines and wrinkles, you may want to skip that particular step. I'm going down the center of my nose as well to bring that out. Now moving on to eyes, the fun part. Now I've already applied an eyeshadow base because these NYX pencils tend to crease pretty badly, but I love this color, it's gold. I like to warm it up with my fingers and then apply it to the lid, and just this is mainly all over the lid and into the crease. Taking a warm coppery shade, we're going to do a little bit different eye shape than what I normally do. It's basically like a L on its side. I'm going to go where the beginning of my brow bone is and then go straight across. So just kind of working it into that inner V and then going straight across my crease, kind of leaving the lid bare. And just work it in and bring it down to the lower kind of lash line. Again, you might just want to deepen that up. It's a little bit different eye shape than what I normally do, but I think it really does look very nice on all different eye shapes. The only one I would say you might want to skip is if you have close set eyes, eyes that appear to be a little bit closer together, you would want to avoid this step. Now, using a bright shimmery gold shade and a flat shader brush, just pack on that color, especially to the inner corner, just to where the iris appears. That is where you really want to have the most amount of color, but she has a really, really shimmery shade. It's really, really glittery. For me, anything with glitter is for me, so I like it. So just really apply that color and just work it into like the inner corner area. If you need a smaller eyeshadow brush, go ahead and do so, but I'm just working with what I have. Just make sure you get that tear duct area covered. And then using a small pencil brush, take that same warm coppery shade and connect the lower lash line to the outer V area of your eye. It doesn't have to be very strong or distinct, again, because this is more of a kind of sexy, subtle look, but just work that in there, back and forth. And then for the next step in the eyes, apply a flesh tone or cream kind of colored pencil to the waterline. Make sure you go all the way from the outer corner to the inner corner. This one's great. It's Stila's Topaz. It's a beautiful shade. And then I'm taking another Stila product. This one's Onyx, and just kind of haphazardly, make dots and smears kind of on the upper lash line, because all we're doing here is just thickening our lash line. So I take a brow pencil, or excuse me, a brow brush, and just really work that product in, working back and forth. Again, it doesn't have to be really neat. We're just thickening up our eyelashes. If you can tight line your upper waterline, go ahead and do so, because when you don't have any skin showing, that's just, it really looks very, very nice with this look. I took a little bit of my pressed powder and applied that to my brow bone just to kind of conceal my freckles. You may not need to do so. And then choosing a light pink gloss or lipstick, your choice. I'm using lip gloss here. I'm applying it to my lip. Now she's got a little bit deeper color, but because I'm fair skinned, I'm using this light color. So there you There you have it for the lips. It's really, really simple and easy. For an added bonus kind of trick to make your lips appear more full, I took a shimmery eyeshadow and applied it to the center of my top lip and the bottom center of my bottom lip, and it just makes your lip appear more full. Then you can grab your curler, your mascara, and your brows, do that, and you should be all done. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it.